What's up guys, Vidas Flips here. Read the video. The trainer guide is here. This is the all trainers. We're mostly gonna go through all of them, I believe. It's not gonna be like a detailed review of everything. These are just gonna be some example of something you can find from specific price range, materials, websites and companies and whatnot. It's gonna be a little bit hard, I'm gonna tell you right now, because first of all, there's a bunch of things to say, and I'm probably not gonna say all of them. Second of all, I'm gonna say a lot of names of trainers that I don't have, and I'm probably gonna forget a few of them. So if you have anything to add in terms of information, trainers, or whatever you want, you can put it down in the comments so people can go down and watch and see other advices or anything that you think it's probably going to be helpful and important for them to know. And yeah, this is going to be a pretty long video probably, and I hope I'm going to cover most of the stuff. So let's get started, guys. Let's start by looking at your need. What do you need? What balisong you're looking for? What is your point in the hobby? That's mostly the thing that it's, in my opinion, most important. Is it your first balisong? Is it your second balisong? You're trying to upgrade to something better, or is you are here for a long time and you're just trying to find something good you can flip and enjoy? So this video is most going to be for the first two options, which is you're new or you want to upgrade, which is mostly the more, important and difficult thing to do, I will say, because you're trying to find something good for good money and with good durability, good flippability and all of that. Let's start with it's your first balisong. Now there's a bunch of balisongs as you can see here, and these are all fairly cheap to higher prices. They're mostly the higher prices, but these are fairly cheap. There's a bunch of places you can buy from. There's a bunch of materials you can get. What are you looking for, and where should you buy balisongs? So there's a bunch of website companies and all that. The one I suggest is Amazon. Really simple, because even though back in the day, even a few months ago, there weren't really a lot of options. There were really a few options like these three and more, but mostly the one that I used for this category are these three. Nowadays there are a bunch more like these. They're really changing the game in terms of price to performance. So these are fairly cheap balisongs. They go from $10 to $20 to $30, and there is a bunch. So let's get into this one. So for instance, this one is a $12 balisong from Undux, and first drop, this thing is made of stainless steel, as you can see. I mean, you can see, I'm dumb, but this is made from stainless steel. It's fairly heavy, and the balance, it's not really good. And also this thing broke. It was supposed to have some pins, but they fell off after literally 2 weeks, and that's a great example of something that you don't really want to start on. If you're limited on budget, and you really can't afford anything too expensive, I wouldn't start on this one. If you can't save money to get you something better than this, save your money just a little more to get something better than this one. Anything that it's like $9, $12, $10, $15, it's most likely gonna be not really good, or $17. All of these like stainless steel, this kind of a blade shape and kind of thing, or the rainbow one, you see there those rainbow ones, like, oh yeah, they look so cool, but they're most likely not gonna be really good. And even though you like the look of it, you don't want to end up with something that is not gonna last you a long time, because of course depends on your needs and what you can spend. But if you cannot spend money, a lot of money, or also you cannot buy a balisong a day and then after a week you need to buy another one, you cannot do that. I wouldn't recommend to go for something like this. Now if you save your money just a little more, you can get something like these. So these are made from Nabalis, and these are different balisongs. These are G10, which is this white thing, and stainless steel right here. Now there's a lot of things about balisongs, and there's a lot, my bad, of things to know, like tap and play. This is tap when the balisong, when the blade hits the inside, like inside, you just wiggles inside. I don't know how to explain that. And this is the play. As you can see, this one has a little play. It's not bad. I have my opinion on tolerances, which these are tolerances, tap and play, which I don't really mind to have tap and play on a balisong, especially if it's not a super expensive balisong. This one is more than a year old balisong, and this is how it's holding up. So having tap and play after a year, which I never really flip anymore because I mean I have much better stuff right now. It's pretty impressive because this thing is $25 only. Flips pretty nice. The balance is pretty good. It's overall a really good balisong for the price, for 25 bucks, and it's literally a few bucks more than that, and you can get something that is gonna last you pretty damn long in terms of what you're paying. So this one is a big recommendation. Now if you don't like the look of this one, there's a few more that I can recommend, which are from Andux, Marcolo, and other companies, but I'm probably gonna put the pictures around the video, and the names as well, because I don't have it with me. But I mean, those are mostly balisong that I've heard are pretty good, and so I'm gonna probably put some pictures here and names and whatever. This one on the other side, it's called the Nabalis G10 upgraded. This one is called the Nabalis original G10 original. I wouldn't recommend this one because this one, it's pretty bad. This one has a lot of wiggle. These are a pretty good example of pretty bad tolerances. And a few things that I want also to say is that when you're paying something like this low, you cannot expect to have the greatest experience of all, of course. And compared to others, these are pretty good flipping experiences. So these two are pretty good, and also the one that I put before on screen, they are pretty decent. On the low price, going for something different and jumping a little bit higher, we have the plastic category. We have the squiddies. The squiddies, you can find them on Squid Industries, which is a company that, you know, makes these. So yeah. Oh wait, bruh, this way around. Or you can also find them on Amazon. Now this one right here is the OG Squiddy and goes for around 45 bucks. And the difference between this one and the stainless steel one is that this one is made of plastic, and people don't really like the word plastic, especially new people that don't know much about balisongs. So plastic balisongs are quite interesting, and nowadays there's a lot of plastic balisongs, really a lot. Plastic balisongs are pretty good, and you can find some pretty good flipping experiences out of a plastic balisong. Now, would I recommend it for a beginner? Even though this is a fairly cheap balisong, I wouldn't recommend these compared to what you can get nowadays on Amazon. The reason behind that, it's because plastic balisong, not all of them, mostly like the squiddies, are not the most durable for the long run. And if you're trying to have something that's gonna last you as long as you can, I wouldn't really recommend to get something like that. So yeah, so that's definitely something to take in mind. They're plastic, and even though they can be flexible, because there's a bunch of different options out there, they're not gonna be the greatest for durability, especially if you want to flip them on you know, maybe you go outside, you want to flip them, you drop them on concrete. They're of course going to be a lot less durable than something that it's made of a metal. Plastic balisong, they're not going to have solid tolerances because they are on plastic. The cool thing though about plastic balisong is that there's a bunch of different ones. There's something from tape flipper, the tape flipper, the calico, the zippy balisong, you have the cycloid, the zipper, the peony, the lotus, even though I don't think it's making it anymore. There are so many plastic balisong. I think Flip Forge as well is making some pretty cool one. And this one right here is the Squiddy B from Squid Industries, and this is about 65 bucks. Made by Spasmin Fingers, the LCT V3 Bowie. It doesn't make these anymore. I would not recommend this one, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's not the best flipper. It's just mostly for oh my god, for collection purposes. Another cons about plastic balisongs is that they're pretty light, really different than a feeling of metal and something heavier, so it doesn't give you really the feeling of something heavy to flip, which can lead to some bad habits and all of that. So of course having a metal balisong is a good choice, and it's probably better, especially if you're pretty new or new, but they're not bad flippers, and that's something to point out. And another good thing is that they're plastic, and they're most likely gonna look less like a knife, or like the Squiddies, they can even be TSA safe. You can bring it to the airport and you're not gonna have any problems. I feel like if you want a plastic balisong, it's nothing like you could go for first ever balisong. I mean, they're probably not gonna disappoint you, but I think that it's better to have some more of a metal and heavier like feeling, like stainless steel, aluminum balisongs before a plastic one. I feel like plastic one, it's mostly for, you know, having something fun to flip, rather than having something relatively good and with good weight and like a competitive flipper kind of thing. Now let's go ahead with the next category, which is going to be this one. These are again Amazon balisongs. These are brand new or newer options that you can find nowadays on Amazon, and these options are gold. There's so many right now, and there are some good prices that, I don't know, they're just really good. Really good first flippers, and some really good options for I think everybody. There is so many from Marcolo, Nabalis, other companies like this one, which I'm not sure about the name, but that's the name of the company. And then you have so many other, I don't even know how many there are. These are aluminum balisong, mostly channel aluminum balisong. Now the difference between something like this, which is a stainless steel G10 in this case, but stainless steel balisong, is that stainless steel is going to be heavier, aluminum is going to be a lot lighter. These are going to be channel, which is usually better for the durability because you have a lot, as you can see, you have a lot less screws. You only have 2 screws to worry about, and in this case you have more, so you're gonna have probably more thing to worry about in terms of having screws and all of that, and durability wise and all of that. So aluminum, it's a really good material. A little while ago, a lot of aluminum balisong were mostly going for 100, unless you were going for the clone territory. But in terms of original design, you were really just going to see aluminum balisong costing like 100, 120. The new, I don't even know how to explain, just the Amazon in general, the new makers and all that. So a bunch of different Chinese companies that, you know, sell on Amazon decided to do aluminum balisongs, and so these 3 and all a bunch of others came out, and these are probably the best options that can get you into the hobby. Price ranges, we're looking at something that goes from usually 50, 55 to 60, 75 or more. So it's a decently priced range. Bison, they're pretty decently priced. I can see that maybe some people cannot spend that much, because it can be, maybe it's not a lot of people can spend 50 because maybe you don't have your bank account, maybe you're asking money from your parents and stuff like that, so maybe that's a little too high. But there are some other options that are cheaper than these. Nabalis decided to make another balisong recently called the Lightning, I believe, and it's only 30 bucks, and it's a channel aluminum balisong like this one, but it has a different system on the pivots, which is hard to explain. A balisong can run on washers, bearings, and bushings. So washers, really quick example of a washer balisong. I'm just gonna take this one. This is the Squid Industry Mako V2.5, no, V4.5. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. This is only washer balisong. As you can see, there are no bushing in there. Bushing and washers, and then there are bearings. Bearings are a bunch different. This is a Corsa Lucha, and this one runs on bearings. Bearings are a little bit complicated because they are just a different feeling. Bushing balisongs have washers, because I don't know if you can see, but this one has the little bronze rings, and that one does have the same rings in there, if you can see. But the main difference is that in here in the blade there's a little like steel cylinder that goes inside the blade, and then the two little circle right here that I show you on top of that, and then the handle on top, which is something that usually helps with the wiggle and all of that. This one is a little bit of an exceptions, but usually bushing can give you tolerances like this one. No wiggle. I mean, there is some wiggle for this one, but this is a really like a year old, but no tap, and usually it gives you pretty good play. In the other side, washers are different to tune. Also bushings, it's usually simple to tune bushings, because if they're well done, you can just crank the screw down all the way and this thing will not wiggle and it will have free swing. On the other side, washers only balisong, you cannot crank them down all the way, because if not, it's just gonna bind and it's not gonna swing freely. So you need to just tighten them the right way, the right amount, so you have pretty good tolerances and you also have swing. So that's the main difference. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe in the future I will make a video about washers, bushings and all that. It's a little hard to explain. I'm not the best one explaining stuff. And also I don't want to get too much into that thing. Now when it comes to these, there's just so many options. Let's say that you want to buy one of these, right? And you see these three, and then you see a bunch more of different options. Now the thing that I suggest is definitely going to watch reviews, look around, take a look on all the balisong you see, take 3 of them, the one you like the most, maybe design wise or something that gets you more for that balisong. Then you search the name on YouTube and you find reviews of people that you can trust. I mean, just people that can flip a little bit more, because I don't want to shit on people. That's not my thing. But if you see someone that just does the sudden opening, or maybe this now, but like, or it just goes with different rollovers, it's a little bit less, I trust them a little bit less usually, because when I see someone doing some more complicated things, and I mean I don't really do any complicated things myself, but when I see someone doing some more complicated stuff with balisong and different kind of tricks, I kind of understand that I can trust them more because they're more of a flipping background and just flipping ability. You're gonna have more experience and let you know more. So try to find for some good reviews on YouTube and try to see which one most people like. Now, in my opinion, when it comes to buying one of these, the thing that you want to mostly think and find, mostly the thing that you want to have, it's something decently durable, which these are pretty much all are. But you mostly want to have something with a good balance, and balances are different. They're weird. The weight distribution is a complicated topic, and they're mostly all things that comes to you, because they're all things that it's a personal thought. It's more a subjective thing, because you can have different preferences. You maybe like something that it's more bait biased and something that it's more angle biased, and that's a thing that you're gonna find out as you flip more and more balisong. What I personally suggest for you, it's try to avoid blade bias. Not because it's bad, because probably many of you will like that, I don't know, but I would suggest something more angled to a more neutral balisong, because it will help you more with like rollovers and all these things that I'm doing now. So I would recommend to find something slightly angle bias or neutral to start with, and then you can maybe in the future explore some different balances. Try not to find something too handle biased. Try to find the slight handle bias to the more neutral, but don't go too far with the biases. Don't go like too handle biased or too blade biased. Another really good thing about these balisongs, and actually a good thing about also some of these, they will come with extra hardware and maybe some other tools. So all of these are gonna come with extra hardware. So here I am with a little packet of hardware. This is actually this one, and as you can see, it comes with extra hardware. It does come with extra screws. I just don't have them here. It comes with extra bushings. These are the little metal thing, the bushing that I was talking about, and extra washers. It will also come with something called Loctite thread locker, which is something that it's used to putting in the screws to get your balisong and your screws locked, so that they're not gonna fall apart easily, and they're gonna be a little more resistant, and you're gonna have some good tolerances for longer. I'm not gonna talk about that too much. I'm not gonna talk about tuning or anything on that, because that's gonna take a bunch of time. Maybe I will do a video in the future, but you can probably find a bunch of videos on YouTube. If you just type in how to tune my balisong, how to tune bushings, how to tune washers, how to tune bearings, you can find that, and it's gonna be there's just a bunch of videos, so I'm not gonna get into that. All of these balisongs are gonna come with that kind of things, which is a really good thing, because it kind of gets you started into tuning your own balisong and just understanding how to maintain your balisong, which is a really good thing to know, and it's a really important thing just to know in general. Now, besides these and all the others, this one excels on that category. So this one was made, this is the Nabalis Volp, and was made in collaboration, as I said before, with a content creator from the balisong community named Will Ursh. And basically him and Nabalis made this balisong together, and they tried to make the best balisong for the price, which is not a clone, which is an original design that offers the best flipping ability, but at the same time it offers the best how can I say that, it gives you the most thing that can help you maintain your balisong, because this thing will come with a actually pretty good Torx bit, actually Torx drive. It's like a little driver, so it will come with something like this, which are pretty good compared to something like these. So it will come with something like that instead of these, and those are better usually. These are not really the greatest. So we come with something like this. The new ones will come with lube, Loctite, and a bunch of other extra hardware, and this tool and another tool that will help you to put the thing back. So it will come with a bunch of different stuff. It will also come with a guide to tell you how to take this thing apart, how to clean it, how to tune it, how to do all of your stuff that you have to do to maintain it. That's a big plus for this one, and that's why I kind of want to recommend the Volpe a little bit more. I'm not simping for Will Ursh, not simping for Nabalis or anything. I just think that for now, the fact that this one comes with Loop 2 and bicycle lubrication is another topic which is pretty important, but I'm not going to talk about. And for that, there's a bunch of videos, so just type bicycle lubrication and you can find so many videos about different lubes and different ways to lube your balisongs and when and how and why. The thing is, this is really good for the fact that it's also coming with all of these little things that will get you, and it will teach you how to maintain your balisong and what to do with your balisong over time, and that's really good. So Wave by Artsy and Nabalis. Artsy, it's another content creator, you probably saw some of her videos, and Nabalis made another balisongs, another balisong, so that's also another big good option. So there is a bunch of options on this price category, and in my opinion this category is the best one to get started, because you're getting something good, something durable, something that just flips good, and something that you can maintain, you can learn on, and you just get better to then step up to something like these. So let's jump to the next category. So let's take this stuff away. Next category, really interesting, weird, hard to discuss category, because we have the AliExpress balisongs. So AliExpress, it's like a store. It's basically like Amazon, but it's a lot different actually. Now on AliExpress you can find original designs like these two, or you can find clones like these two. Clones are of course some replication of original designs that are basically the original thing. They look like the original thing, they might flip like the original thing, but they're not the original thing. So there's a lot of opinions about that. I made a video about what I think about clones, or why should I buy clones, or should you buy a clone or not. So I made a video about that. I'm not going to talk too much about clones in this video because I don't want to get into that. It's going to take too much time. There is a bunch of people that done some clone guide, or how to buy clones, or where to buy clones, and all of that. So also for that, type in on YouTube and you will find a bunch of those. So if you wanted to learn more about clones, I suggest to do that and just look around. This is the one Falcon, this is the one Alien. There is a bunch more, but these are the two that I own, and these are the two that I'm gonna mostly talk about, and I'm gonna compare to something like this. So these were actually my beater, basically the balisong that I flipped everywhere and didn't really care about, and they are really good balisongs. So these are made by the one is a clone company, but these are not clones. So there is a lot of things about these two too, because they're made by a clone company. Even if they're not a clone, you're technically still you're still giving money to a clone company, so it's not really right. But I mean, I honestly don't care. I think they're really good balisongs, and I don't really care. First of all, where can you find these, and where do I suggest to buy these? You can find them on AliExpress, which is a little more complicated, and I suggest to watch a guide how to use AliExpress if you're not sure and you don't feel like using it. Or you can find it on Slash2Gash, which is an American website in which they sell these products. They usually check on the quality for the bushings, they don't give you bad bushings, and they also gonna ship it to you, and you're gonna get it in like 3-4 days instead of like weeks or month when you buy it from AliExpress. Our channel aluminum balisongs, these are pretty old ones. I've been beating this thing so much, so it's not in really pristine condition, but I can tell you that these are two really good flippers, and I'm not gonna lie, I do prefer this one, the Falcon, over the Volpe, for my personal opinion, but that doesn't really matter for this video. So now, what is the main difference between these two, and which one should you buy, in my opinion? So the thing is, these are from AliExpress, which is a little more different than Amazon. On Amazon, it's a lot more easy. If you want to contact the seller or anything, you can just go ahead and contact them and, you know, ask them for anything, or just, I need a new part for this one, I need something new, I need a new Balisong, something went wrong, you know, whatever. They're gonna help you, they're gonna respond to you quickly. On AliExpress, they're gonna respond to you quickly, but it's gonna be a lot harder. I don't know how it works for like returns and all that. I don't even know. I'm not sure. I know there is a policy about that. You can probably search it somewhere online, but I'm not really sure myself how it works. But even though people might say, yeah, but there is a policy on these for AliExpress and everything, I will still say that Amazon, it's a more safer bet. And I feel like there's a lot more of a custom service and all of that, so I will still say that this is safer to buy than these two, even though there's probably a policy about returns and all of that for AliExpress, but I will still say this is better. Now, even though these are good flipper and they do come with extra stuff exactly like this one, they won't come with all the goodies that this one comes with, which means that, yeah, you're gonna have a screwdriver, but it's gonna be one of these. You're gonna have hardware, but it's probably not gonna be the greatest hardware. You're gonna have you're not gonna have Loctite, you're not gonna get lube like this one. So even though these are really good flippers, and I think that they're just really nice, these usually needs to have some work done. For instance, this one has some replaced hardware for the Zen pins and the main screws, and this one as well. So that's a little thing that I did. I bought some extra hardware, then I put Loctite myself, I add the lube myself, because it didn't come with that. On the other side, this one comes with lube, comes with Loctite. You need to put it in the Balisong, but it comes with it, and also comes with a bunch of different tools and all that can help you tuning. So the thing is, if you want to buy one of these, you have to know that if you want to have the best result out of it, you most likely have to put some more money and some work into them. Now, these are 45 bucks. They're gonna get you like 50 bucks with shipping and all that. On AliExpress, they're a little bit more expensive on /2cash, because they're checking on the quality of the hardware and the bushings, because sometimes you can get some oversized, undersized bushings, which is another topic which I'm not going to talk about, but basically the dimension of the little disc that I show you is going to change the way it flips and swings and performs. So you need to get the right size to add some good solid tolerances and at the same time a good flipping experience. Which doesn't mean that if it has some tap, it's the end of the world, because I still love this thing a bunch, even if it has a bunch of tap. But, you know, it's still something to know and to, you know, be aware of. Because this thing still flips down great, even though it has tap. But I will go for the safest bet, in my opinion, if you're buying something new, which is this one. If you feel like to buy these and put some work on that, like spending more $20 for the hardware and tuning the bushing with sandpaper and all of that, then these are a really good option, because I think these two are pretty good. In my opinion, this one is better durability wise than this one, if I really had to pick one. But overall, they're pretty good. Again, if you think that you find one of these two good and you want to know more about them, go ahead on YouTube and type for the one Falcon review or the one Alien review, or go on AliExpress and find some more and just go ahead and search for a review. So we're now to this category. Now this one is just an example we're going to use. but these are all balisongs that goes from $100 and more. These are just a few. These are just a few trainers that I have, but there is so many. There are so many balisongs on this price range that it's really crazy. And in my opinion, when you're shopping for a balisong trainer, this is pretty much the price range in which you want to go, and you don't really want to go too much further than this, in my opinion. So we have something that is like $100, $120, something that is like 150, 80, and 200 and something, 220, 230. When you're getting in this price range, or when you're getting on this kind of level, you're not getting anything bad. Most likely every balisong that goes from more than like 120, 150 up, it's most likely gonna be a good quality balisong trainer. The reason is that these are all makers. We're not talking about Amazon anymore. You can find this one, the Kershaw Lucha, on Amazon, but all the rest, I don't think you can find this one on Amazon, but all the rest, they're basically all made by specific makers that they don't have on Amazon or any other bigger websites. You can find some of these on like knifecenter.com and Blade HQ, but mostly they don't have it on other websites outside those, maybe Lamnia and all of that, which we're going to talk about it later on. You're going to expect pretty good quality. You're going to expect pretty good machining, flipping ability, and durability too, even though some of them have their own, of course, limitation. But from this price range on, you're probably going to find something that it's good. You're not going to find something bad. You're not going to find anything that is complete trash. Everything, it's most likely going to be good in terms of quality, durability, and all of that. The only main thing that you're gonna find that you don't like, it's all based on your preferences. So I think that, in my opinion, you shouldn't start on something this expensive as your first balisong. And not because they're bad, because they're really good, most likely. But the reason is you want to try something cheaper to understand if you like the hobby and to understand what you like. And if you're at this point, you're probably already got 2 balisongs or maybe 1, and you kind of want to try something that you like. And to do that, you want to understand what you liked before that. So you probably don't have a lot of experience with different balisong, which is fine. So what you're trying to look, it's something probably similar to the one you had before. And there's a bunch of things to say about these. But first, what is the biggest difference between this one and something like this one? I mean, they're both aluminum, 661 in this case. They're both channel, they have both bushings, they have pretty much really similar specs. Well, the difference between these two, most likely not only on a price range and the fact that they are manufactured in the United States, not in China or in other countries. The thing is that this one, the biggest difference is going to be also in tolerances. The truth is, for Amazon balisongs, they don't come with Loctite or anything to hold the screws in place inside the pivots, so it's gonna be easier to actually double tap and all of that. And you probably are gonna expect not the best quality of the bushings and tolerances out of these balisongs, or you're probably gonna expect something that is not gonna last that long in terms of really solid tolerances, which is totally fine, because also one of the purposes of this balisong is to teach you how to deal with tolerances and maintaining your balisong. In this category, you're most likely gonna find something that it's pretty good tolerances wise, like this one. So you're gonna find something really solid tolerances, and that it's gonna be pretty good in that thing. You're gonna find some high lever bushing tuning, something that doesn't get tapped that quickly. You're probably gonna find something pretty durable, some decent and good materials. So that's probably what you're stepping up for. You're stepping up for something that it's probably gonna be better and more like there is more interest put in this product than in that one, because the production is different. You're probably gonna have like 20 people working on these, but in here you have like hundreds of people and more working on this one. So it's a different kind of concept. And Will Ursh made a video about the difference between the prices of Balisong, like price ranges of Balisong, and why Balisong cost you so much. This is the Kershaw Lucha. This is a sandwich construction, as you can see. Stainless steel Balisong. This one is really heavy. Would I recommend this Balisong? Even though it's not bad, and I kind of like this, I wouldn't say it's your best choice to upgrade. Something like Squid Industries, which in this case I had the Mako and the Kraken trainer. So Squid Industries makes some really good flippers, and the Mako is around $100, and it's a really good flipper. I love this thing a bunch. Durability is not gonna be the best flipper. I'm gonna throw that right there. This one will probably survive a beating, but not that much. The reason is, first of all, tolerances wise, this is on washer, so this one is gonna get tapped over time after you flip it a bunch. So if you're really concerned about tolerances, yeah, this one is not gonna have the most solid tolerances over time, especially if you're gonna flip this one around a lot. The other thing is that the Mako, the Triton, they don't have, and the Squid Trainer don't have a ardent blade. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little bit bind. It's a little more, it does like that, like a little, it's not straight, and that's another problem that in my opinion should be fixed. It's an amazing flipper. I think it's pretty good for learning. For the price that it comes with, it's a little high for what you're getting, and especially for the fact that the blade kind of bends. I don't think it's 100% worth it, in my opinion. If you can do the step up and go for a Squid Trainer, that's gonna be a lot better. Glider Co. Now I have these two for Glider Co. This is an Australian company. The problem with Glider Co. is that they don't have a bunch of Balisong in stock. Here I have the really famous Glider Arctic. This is a sandwich aluminum Balisong with bushings, and it is a really fucking good flipper. The balance is pretty good, it feels really nice, it flips pretty good, and this one is one that I would recommend myself. This one has more than a year. It was my third Balisong, so this was my actual upgrade to a full aluminum Balisong. These are really solid. It's a little messed up, so it has tap, but if I tune this thing and I crank that down and I put some Loctite or something, this thing has really good tolerances, so that's a big plus. I do recommend Glider Co. the Arctic. For 120 it's really good, but they're not in stock right now. Next one from Glider Co. the OG V4. This is a channel, as you can see. It is 150. I honestly would not recommend this one if you're trying the upgrade. The reason is it's pretty angle biased. Might not like the way the swing flips. Next one, this is a Firefly V1. Now they have the V2. BB Barfly actually has the Pro V3, the BB Fireflies V2, the Barracudas and all that, which goes from 120 to 180 and more. Like this one was going for 180. It's a pretty good flipper. Not my favorite for the handle thickness, which is something in my opinion to be aware when you're buying something from BB Barfly, because if you're looking for your first better, like, you know, flipper, you're looking just for a good flipper, durable. This thing is a tank. I haven't touched the pivots ever, and it does have play, but has no tap, so that's really good. The only thing is that you need to look for also handle shape. You don't want something too extreme, in my personal opinion. Don't go for something too extreme, because you might find something that you don't like, and if you don't like it, it's a little bit of a problem. So these really fat handles, you might probably like these a bunch or maybe not. So I would say be careful and try to find something that it's more of a normal shape. Something like the Mako, it's more like normal, or maybe with some little tapering like the Kraken and something like that, instead of going for something too extreme. You're trying mostly to find something that it's pretty simple design wise. So many options out there, even in this like price range. How can you know if it's something durable if you actually don't know anything about it? YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, try to find reviews. So on YouTube, you type Kraken Rockin V2.5 trainer review, and you find reviews, and try to find reviews of people that know how to flip a little bit more. You're also trying to find the longer reviews, and what I mean is that if you can find like year-old review, like my Balisong, the Kraken after a year, how does it hold up? You know, if you can find something like the Kraken after a year, or like the Arctic after 1 year, my year review of this bison, my year review of that bison. And also try to find some reviews that talks mostly about balance and the flipping experience and all of that. And yeah, just try to find some good reviews. That's the only thing I can tell you, because I can sit down here and tell you a bunch of names and makers that you can try to look at. And the thing is, the best way is just going on Instagram or Reddit and scroll and find like makers and all that, and just try to find for something you like and you think it looks good, and then looking for reviews, and then you look like which one you think it's better for you, then you're gonna go ahead and buy it. Now there's like Squid Industries that does a bunch of bisons, BB Barfly, Leather Co. You have NRB. You have Machine Wise. What else do you have? You have IFEX. IFEX makes a bunch of bisons. They just made a drop. You have a bunch of different options, and I'm probably forgetting a lot of them, to look out and trying to find something that is similar to what you like. So you go ahead and you're trying to buy from Squid, and you're like, let's see which one weighs more, because I prefer heavier bison. Let's see which one I prefer in terms of balance. Let's see the balance of this bison. Let's see this and that. Maybe you prefer 10 pins, maybe you prefer 10 pins, you know. So you're trying to look out for those details and try to find the bison that best fits you. But I do get that at first, when you're first upgrading, you don't really know what you like, because maybe you go through this one and maybe a Squiddy or maybe another Amazon cheaper bison. So it's a little bit hard, and I get that. But at the same time, sometimes it's actually just buying something that you like, and then it will end up pretty well either way. But in my opinion, if you really want the best thing for you, just try to search and inform yourself in that specific knife that you want. So that's it. A few things that I want to add. Companies that in my opinion you shouldn't shop from, join them out there. I don't want to aid, just everybody knows about that. I wouldn't recommend Balisong. They make some bison that are really similar to this. I would not recommend them, even though you think they look good or they're really cheap. I would say to try to avoid them. And fuck. And kind of same thing for and there is another company which I don't fucking remember. Watch review on this one as well. Watch review on every bison you want to buy. Before you buy it, just watch a review and try to see if it's actually good. So don't trust me 100%, just go around and explore, you know. Another thing, probably some of you are from Europe, and that sucks because mostly balisongs are made in United States. Or where to buy them? Amazon. You probably still find some good ones. I mean, I think you can find the Volp and all of them. Another website you can see where it's pretty good for Europe is lemnia.com. That should work. I know that Squid Industries is trying to do some like outside, you know, global shipping, but it's a little bit harder because you're gonna pay a bunch of money for shipping. It's a little bit harder in Europe to get bison, which kind of sucks, but I will definitely try to find something from the secondary market, or if you really have to. But if you can't go to Lamnia, you can find some good stuff. Squids make some drops there. Gladderco made some drops there. I don't know if BB Barfly did, but Lamnia, it's pretty good. If you have any other website then you know and they're good for Europe, you can put them down in the comments, and everybody that's interested can go down there and just take a look. And even if you have any other bison you want to suggest, if you have any question, anything you want to ask, any other bison you want to tell people or show people, like whatever, or any other opinion you have about starting with bison flipping and all that, you can go down in the comments and put a comment, so everybody can go down and take a look and answer questions. I will answer questions. I think a bunch of other people would like to answer your questions because it's cool to help out. So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything, go down the comments. So yeah, that was it for this video, and that's about it for today. So thank you so much for following. I hope this video is pretty good. I hope this video will help a bunch of people. And again, if you have anything else to say down the comments, you feel free to put whatever you want, and we are here to answer your questions. So everybody, yeah, oh my god, have a great day, and see you in the next video. Bye guys. Which is fuck off. Holy fucking shit. It's not really a feeling of the like fuck. It's really, you guys, I'm back. It's the next day, so we talk about, oh my fuck. So yeah, in my opinion, you need to fuck.